What's up everyone, Kaiji no Kami here, and I'm going to just talk about a little bit about E3. I'm getting ready to go to Denver Comic Con, so most of my equipment is either packed up or in the process of getting packed up. So I just want to do a little quick video without anything, kind of old school style, the way I used to do reviews, which seems very dark in here now suddenly, at least from what I see on the camera. But I wanted to do a video on my thoughts of what I saw at E3 this week. It's going to be basically, I'm making a video that's simple, so I don't need to do any editing, so any stalls or whatever I do, you're going to see in this. So, have fun with that. Now, E3, I thought this year's E3 was kind of meh. In fact, this E3 felt like an E3 that says, yep, we're at the end of this gaming generation because nothing we show you is really amazing. And only some companies are still trying to go over normal expectations and do new IPs. Everyone else is just now playing it totally safe. Well, this entire gaming generation's been pretty much safe. I'm not too thrilled with how safe they've played it this year. Well, this generation. I feel like this whole generation is a waste. But that's for another video at another time or another rant, whatever. Let's see. What did I like at E3? Well, Microsoft's conference was pretty solid. They just did game after game after game. Yeah, sure. I know some people are like, well, those games are clearly not first-party titles. So what? It's games. They did exactly what the conference should do. Highlight games. They talked about games that were necessary. Oh, Ori looked pretty cool. The Jump Heroes looked pretty awesome. Like, I would love to be able to have Luffy beat up both Goku and Naruto. I hate Naruto. But I would love to have Luffy just be able to beat the crap out of those two. Be very fun. Other games they showed that looked solid, well, We Happy Few still looks pretty good. I'm just not sure if I want to support it after all the stuff that's been going on with it. I am happy that Microsoft is finally going to take first-party development serious in the next gaming generation. I am looking forward to see what they do with Ninja Theory and all the other companies they bought. Hopefully they'll be able to give us some games that can compete with Sony, because Sony has The Last of Us, God of War, Horizon, Uncharted, and Microsoft has really had nothing. They had Halo, which Sony has Killzone for. And I'm not a big first-person shooter person, so whatever. Not that I have problems with first-person shooters. Some games are fine. But ultimately, I would rather have third-person, story-based games than online games. Let's see. Ubisoft's conference. Started out strong. I actually did like the little dance bit at the beginning. And I liked the musical portion they did for the Donkey Kong DLC for Mario vs. Rabbids. But other than that, their conference went pretty much really quickly. Like, their talking about Trials just went on forever. The Division 2, ooh, wow. For an online-only game, another sequel, which, same with The Crew. Which, my question is, if they were doing these online-only games, couldn't they just add new content through DLC? Why do they need to do a fully brand new game? Can't they just add updates to it through firmware? That just, I don't know, that just sounds weird to me that you have all these online games that the whole point of online was to be able to stretch them out for like 5-10 years, and then we have a new sequel after 2 years. Doesn't make sense to me. But Ubisoft's conference was pretty boring. Oh, and then there was that joke of Square's conference. It was pretty much just trailer after trailer after trailer. If I wanted to watch 30 minutes of trailers, I'd go to the movies where I get 30 minutes of trailers before a movie. I didn't need that with a video game conference I was willingly watching on the TV. I thought they were going to do something cool, like talk about these games. Oh wow, Kingdom Hearts. I've never been a Kingdom Hearts fan. Whoop-de-doo. Where was Final Fantasy VII Remake? How about that Octo Traveler? Octo Traveler looked like it might be cool. It looks like a Final Fantasy-esque game, aka Final Fantasy 16, and Amano's artwork combined, the way Final Fantasy used to be. Why isn't that a Final Fantasy game? Why can't that be a Final Fantasy game? Is it because it's not some big budget, high-end explosions for the PlayStation and Xbox? Is that why it's not a Final Fantasy game? Whatever. Octo Traveler looked pretty cool. I wish they actually told us what the game was about. Same with this game called Babylon Falls. They showed this trailer, but no gameplay, and they told us nothing about what the game is about. I'm sold on Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I was sold the moment you said there was going to be a third Tomb Raider game to the reboot series. I loved the first two. Rise was incredible. Shadows is going to be good too, although I may hold off on Shadows until the DLC is all out and they package it all together in one Game of the Year edition like they did with the first game and the second game. Because I'm tired of buying a lot of video games that feel incomplete, or they put out all this DLC later. And, well, DLC that feels like it should have been part of the game in the first place. Not like Witcher Blood and Wine and Hearts of Stone. Those felt like they were different games that were in the Witcher universe, that were added on. A lot of other games feel like that the DLC is actually just supposed to be part of the game that they withheld. Like fighting games. All those characters. Give me all the characters in the... Okay, I'm rambling. I need to stop. What else did I like? Okay, so Ubisoft Conference, Square Conference. I didn't watch EA. I didn't watch Bethesda. I have no interest in Bethesda's games. And from what I hear, Fallout 76 is online only, so whatever. Sony. Sony's press conference. Last of Us 2 looks amazing. I'm also kind of disgusted. If you go on the GameFAQs message boards for that site, they have like 400 topics on people who are being homophobic. That's just disgusting. Whatever. Just knock it off. Who cares? It's a video game. Get over it. But Last of Us 2 looked incredible. I love the stuff that was going on in that trailer. Then Sony's conference kind of stalled because they had to move everyone to another theater. So us watching it online, we're like, what the hell? This is boring. Okay, can we get back to the conference now? This is so awkward. Sony, I definitely loved how you had like the first part was the theater set up like the church in Last of Us 2, and the second looked like that Ghost of Tsushima game, but never do that again. It was a failed experiment. I'm happy you tried something, and I guess if you're going to try something like that, this is the E3 to do it, but don't do that again. Do not do that again. Speaking of Ghost of Tsushima, that looked like a pretty good game. I'm curious about that, although I was a little bit mad because at first I thought it was an Onimusha game, and then it wasn't, so that was kind of disappointing at first, but still looks good. Death Stranding, I don't know anything about the game. They haven't given anything story-wise on what the game's about, what the game plays like. Is it an action game? Is it a stealth game? Is it a horror game? Is it a science fiction game? What type of game is it? Does it play like Call of Duty? Does it play like Uncharted? Does it play like Metal Gear Solid 5? Does it play like God of War, Horizon? Tell me what it plays like. Show me what it plays like. So I want to get excited for it, but I can't. I'm not going to get excited for it just because it's Kojima. Kojima's cool and all, but doesn't mean everything the man makes is going to be good. And then we had the Resident Evil 2 remake trailer. Oh my god, I cannot wait for that game. Right now, after Red Dead Redemption 2, Resident Evil 2 is my most anticipated game. I cannot wait for that. But before Red Dead 2, there's Spider-Man. Spider-Man looks really good. It looks like Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Knight with Spider-Man, and you know what? I am perfectly okay with that because I loved the first two Arkham games. I cannot wait to see what they do with Spider-Man. I do wish they did show actually in Spider-Man how open this world is. Is it full New York City? Is it just a borough? How does it work? I wanted to see that. That was my only negative disappointment with that aspect, was they didn't show us how it worked. But they did show us how a lot of other elements work. I mean, he was fighting in the buildings. He was fighting outside on the water, swinging around. It was pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to Spider-Man. Not sure if I'll get it day one or not though, but we'll see. Nintendo's conference. All Nintendo had to do was show me Metroid Prime 4 and even announce a Metroid Prime remaster trilogy set for the Switch. And I would have said, this is the best conference ever. But they couldn't do that. Nope. They couldn't do that at all. They showed a Pokemon game. They showed a cool mech game and then didn't tell us anything about it. They also showed a thing on Octo Traveler, but didn't tell us anything about it. Then they showed a Mario Party thing. And then they spent 30 minutes on telling us how awesome Smash Brothers is. Yay. I understand Smash Brothers is a big selling series. I understand Smash Brothers is popular. I understand people love Smash Brothers. I enjoy Smash Brothers if I'm playing it with other people that somebody brings it over. It's not a game I'm going to buy myself. However, I don't need 30 minutes telling me the changes to every single character in the game. You take a selected amount that have had major changes and you talk about them. You don't need to talk about, oh, well, this time we're using Breath of the Wild Link and he has a remote bomb. Cool. Was that really necessary to tell us? No. People could figure that out for themselves. And now here's the funny thing. I kept saying, I want to see Metroid goodness. I want to see Metroid goodness. And then they showed us Ridley for being playable in Smash Brothers. Cool. Ridley's awesome. But when I said I wanted Metroid goodness, again I meant Metroid Prime related. Regular Metroid games. Not a Metroid character in Smash Brothers. The rest of E3 has been, well, there really hasn't been anything else there because it's all just been, at this point, games, and I miss the days when there's all this coverage for E3. I have rambled on quite a bit. Let me just say that I watched a full game demo of Resident Evil 2 Remake, and I am super excited for it. I was a little hesitant because of the over-the-shoulder style that has taken up Resident Evil as of late, except for 7, but I haven't played that one yet. And I'm happy that they are going back to its horror roots. So, I'm excited for it. Resident Evil 2 Remake should be awesome. Do not screw it up, Capcom. And now, Capcom, after you give us Resident Evil 2 Remake, how about Onimusha? Bringing Onimusha back. Maybe doing a remastered trilogy instead of the Nobunaga trilogy. Oh, speaking of Capcom, Devil May Cry 5. I know some people are excited for it. I'm like, meh. Whatever. It's Devil May Cry. It's pretty much the same game at this point. Also, why does Nero look like every CW white actor ever? I don't like his haircut. I don't like his haircut. In fact, at first I thought it was Dante, and then I realized halfway through the trailer, I'm like, wait a minute. That's Johnny Young Bosch, which means that's Nero. So I didn't even know that was Nero initially. So overall, E3, yeah, not exactly great. Microsoft's press conference I give a 9 out of 10 to. Sony I give a 7. Ubisoft I give a 4. Square, didn't even bother to show up. Out of 10. And Nintendo I give a 2 out of 10. Well, that's all I've got. Those are my thoughts on EA, or E3. Now it's time to get all this stuff finished packing up for Denver Comic Con this weekend, so look for those videos next week. Bye!